Yo, what's up, everybody? This your boy back at y'all with another video. All right, we're going to cover some NBA here. A lot of things went down during in the league, and we're just going to get straight into this, man. Shouts out to the Lions Den basketball community. All right, so coming from the Athletic, Sham Sarania, NBA Players Association plan to hold a vote tonight or Friday morning regarding the December 22nd start format to the 2020-21 season amid the pandemic. Now, this was sources told The Athletic. Now, we all know the Players Association, led by Michelle Roberts, started formal conference calls with players from all 30 teams this week. Players have been holding calls with the Players Association beginning Monday and will go through today. And players coming out of several meetings believe a December 22nd start is inevitable. Now, for the NBA and the Players Union, the two major issues and discussions so far have revolved around the start date. What up, Octavius TX made? Salute. Well, I'm gonna get to that. Now, two major issues and discussions so far revolving around the start date, which is December 22nd and January 18th. January 18th would be after Martin Luther King Day, or around that time, with the player payments withholding escrow amount. Now, the financial ramification of a December start loom due to the television networks and league partners wanting a Christmas Day start, and the Christmas week generating hundreds of millions of dollars of additional revenue, and the schedule returning to the normal October-June timetable for 21-22. A January start, meanwhile, would interfere with the 21 Summer Olympics and affect advertisement sales of the networks. Now, we all know the major networks that's carrying the NBA is ESPN and TNT. And you can best believe ESPN and TNT will have a huge influence on when this thing starts. Right? What up, Willie Self? Salute. Now, the union uniform informed players that there have been fears if the league does not begin on Christmas, the TV partners may want to negotiate their deals with the NBA. Now, the Players Association informed players that negotiations around the escrow initially centered around team governors wanting unlimited escrow, which will allow owners to gain one major escrow in order to receive the 49% share of basketball-related income for 2021. Now, talks are going back and forth, with the league pushing about 40% and 35% and so on. That's what sources said. Now, the NBA and the Players Association are in agreement on spreading the escrow over 3 years. Now, the league is proposing a 25% escrow over that time span, while the Players Association is offering 15%. 18% is viewed as a potential escrow number over 3 years, according to sources. Now, for players, the point that has been made is that owners have longevity in the NBA, and team prices continue to rise even during the pandemic. So, for most players sacrificing escrow dollars, it can impact more for their shelf life than it could an owner with staying power. Now, here's how December start fares compared to January. So, if the league begins on December 22nd, December 1st, training camp will go for 3 weeks. There'll be 3 to 4 preseason games, a 72 regular season game, 14 back-to-backs, 14 games per team back to back, a 25% reduction in travel, and the All-Star break will begin in March. Regular season will end around May 16th. You have the play-in tournament for seeds 7 through 10th in the Eastern and Western Conference. Playoffs begin May 22nd. Finals finish around July 22nd. Now, that would coincide with the Olympics, because there's a lot of players that's going to play in the Olympics this year, assuming the Olympics even plays. What's up, Gideon? Now, if the league starts January 18th, camp will open on December 28th for 3 weeks. There'll be 3 to 4 postseason games, a 60-game regular season, 12 back-to-back games per team, a 25% reduction in travel, All-Star break for 6 days beginning around April 9th. Regular season ends in June. Play-in tournament, 7 to 10 seeds in Eastern and Western Conference. Playoffs start around June 28th. Playoffs, the finals will end around August 21st to 23rd. Now, the NBA and the Players Association hope to maintain a salary cap of around $109 million and $132 million, respectively. So the $132 will be the hard cap, and the $109 will be the soft cap. Let's see. Do I see teams back in the arenas, or I see another bubble? So, from what I read, they're trying to get teams back in the regular arenas. Now, according to the state statutes set by the governor, it will determine whether or not you have fans. But they're really trying to get teams back in the arenas, and if they do another bubble, it'll probably be reserved for the playoffs. In addition, a significant portion of the 25% salary cap withholding of player contracts in May will be returned to every player. So that's interesting development. I do see them starting to lead back up on the 18th, not the 18th, the 22nd of December. I really do see them doing that because these guys want to get paid. And like I said before, the media outlets like ESPN and TNT will have a major say in that as well. All right. Now, the other big news in the NBA that came down this week is the Pelicans possibly shopping Drew Holiday. Now, man, where is he going to go next? That is the $1 billion question. Where is Drew Holiday going to go next? That is the $1 billion question. So we all know that Drew Holiday, he's had a tumultuous career, in my opinion. He just turned 30 years old in June. He will become an unrestricted free agent next year if he decides to opt out the final year of his deal. The Pelicans are a young team, and Drew Holiday did prove this year he cannot lead a team. So where is he going to go? I'm just trying to figure out where is he going to go, and who's going to want to take him. Now I can see a team like Golden State taking a chance on him because, look, they're trying to get back to the playoffs and they're trying to win the NBA championship. But who are they going to give up? Who is Golden State going to give up for Drew Holiday? Right? Now, I can see him going to the Rockets, but then again, you can't have him go to the Rockets because, the Rockets are trying to blow that team up they got right now. And you don't want him going back to a rebuild project. So Drew Holiday is literally on the crossroads of his career. What up, Hitman X? Salute to my boy Hitman X. Now, an up and coming team like the Phoenix Suns is interesting. Now, a person that can help out Devin Booker, um, that's an interesting dynamic or whatever like that. So let's talk about Drew Holiday. What you got on this, Gideon?
What's going on, LB? Drew Holiday. If Drew Holiday gets traded, goes to a team like Golden State or Houston, I think he could bring versatility, could get you deflections and steals, can hit that mid-range shot, especially at the elbow, and can stretch that and can hit the three ball. So I think Drew Holiday could be a good veteran a leader for the Rockets and for the Warriors. So yeah, I think if I were Golden State or Houston, I'm trying to get Drew Holiday because you need to improve your defense. Because listen, I know Golden State's gonna have shooting with Steph and Clay, but here's the problem: they don't have a bench. You know what I mean? And they don't have a bench. That's their problem, though. So that's what Golden State takes. And for Houston, they just need defense. Because again, I know the Rockets play good D at times in the playoffs, but we had to look at the context. Okay, the Thunder are not a great offensive team, so that's why I didn't fall for their defense too much. And then in the playoffs against the Lakers, you saw that they couldn't stop transition with Rondo. They couldn't guard the inside with AD, and the problem was that they did a horrible job rotating to the shooter. So that's what the Rockets need. I think if the Rockets can get a Drew Holiday, that can be a big plus because he can help out on defense and can swarm at the perimeter.
But see, this is the problem with going to Houston, right?
Hmm.
The problem to me is they're trying to rebuild. Whatever they had with Russell Westbrook and James Harden, they're trying to blow that up. What up, Elder? Salute to Elder Rufus in the building. Subscribe to Elder, man. They got a lot of good things going on down there where he's at. But I really don't think going to Houston, right, when they're trying to blow that whole team up, is going to be the answer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying because that is you do have a point though. But if I have to guess, I don't really see the Rockets trading James Harden. I don't think that's going to happen.
Why not?
Because think about it, if they get Ben Simmons, okay, I understand Ben can dish the rock and he can fly to the rim, but here's the thing: you're getting a guy who cannot stretch the floor. So it's like if you get Ben Simmons and you keep Russell Westbrook, you're getting 2 point guards who cannot stretch the floor. So it's like, what is the point of doing that? If I were the Rockets, personally, I would keep James Harden because he is your franchise player. I understand James Harden's not been the best playoff performer in a while, but James Harden is a really underrated Houston Rocket in the regular season. He just needs to be a better playoff performer. But if I were Houston, personally for me, I'm not trading James Harden because what are you gonna get in return? You know what I mean?
You get a whole bunch of shit for James Harden. You get a whole bunch of draft picks. You get a quality player. You get one or two quality players. Maybe you bring in a third team to pull that trade off. They can, if they really want to trade him, they can get it done. You can get a lot for James Harden. I mean, look what the Clippers did with Paul George. I mean, they practically emptied the fucking farm.
Tell me about it.
Paul
They
George.
traded exactly. They traded SGA, Gallinari, and a lot of draft picks to get Paul George, and that really put an egg on the Clippers' face. That's what I can say. So yeah.
I mean, yeah, they practically emptied the farm to get that dude. So, I mean, and then you got to think Houston's need to recoup some of the picks they're gonna lose.
I mean, you do have a point, but if you're all right, if you're the Houston Rockets, man, if you do trade James Harden, what trade do you want to have? What do you want to get in return? If you were the Houston Rockets, what would you do? What trade would you do?
And you already know Daryl Morey is the president of basketball operations in Philadelphia, man. The problem I have with it is eventually that's gonna become the Philadelphia Rockets.
Tell me
You
about it.
know? But if you look, you put Ben Simmons on the floor.
Hmm.
Off the, I know he a point guard and all that, you know what? But the dude ain't shooting outside of 5 feet, so you have him as like a point forward where he can bring the ball up, and then you can have him play the block.
That is true. That is true because Ben Simmons, he is pretty athletic. He is pretty athletic. So that's you do have a point there. I just think that if you get a guy like Ben Simmons, like I said, in my opinion, I don't know how it's going to work because you have two guys who cannot stretch the floor. So in my opinion, if I were the Rockets, I'll try again this coming season to see how far you can go. I'll try again.
And then on top of that, you do got a big man down there, Ben Simmons like 6'10". What was the tallest person on the Rockets? 6'7"?
PJ Tucker. I think that was PJ Tucker.
Yeah, it was PJ Tucker. He was no, actually Robert Covington's taller than him.
You do have yeah, and Covington's a 3 and D guy. You can have in your team. He can stretch that floor and can play good defense in the perimeter. So yeah,
What's up, Elder?
what
Hey,
up,
what's
Elder?
going on, LB? What's up, Gideon? Hey,
So
you know, if they do blow this thing up, they would blow it completely up. I don't see them making a trade to get rid of Harden to keep West. So they would get rid of both of them and get a bunch of draft picks, get a couple young players. You know what I mean? And look
yeah,
at like what OKC did. Once he made the request, they blew their thing up last year. Got rid of their two franchise players, two star
that's
players,
true.
right? And
That's true.
they got a quality player back and still made the playoffs and got all this youth and draft picks, and you see what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
And
So
they
this
almost beat
league,
the Rockets. They got young core and they got SGA in the trade. Gallinari in the trade. Dennis Schroeder was magnificent this season. Chris Paul, man, he turned back the clock this year. And they had a nice draft pick. Lou Dort was fabulous in the playoffs, man. Yeah,
yeah. So teams like to follow what other teams do. This is a copycat league. So if they're going to do it, I can see them going ahead and blowing that thing up. But they wouldn't trade Harden for Ben Simmons and then keep
that's what I'm
Westbrook. They would let Westbrook go too. Probably send him to New York for a young player and cap relief, stuff like that, because they got the money to absorb him and then roll from there, man, and just start that thing over. But again, OKC did it, and they still made the playoffs in the West last year. He's looking at it like, hey, if we can get a star like Ben Simmons and put a couple veterans, we got some good veterans we can keep on the cheap, and then maybe get another player plus a bunch of draft picks. Who knows? We may mess around and look up and still make it to the playoffs in the West. So, but I don't know. It's hard trading your franchise player. It really is.
That's what I'm saying, Elder. That's why I don't see it happening. That is why I don't see it happening. Personally, for me, the only thing that's realistic is Russ going to New York. That's the only thing that's realistic. That's it. I don't
Yeah, I
see.
mean, and most of the time when it happens is because the star player has requested it, and
Oh
we
yeah,
don't know.
yes, that's true, Jay. The only way I see the Rockets trading the beard, Harden has to be pissed off that he wants to be traded. I said to myself, I don't think this is going to happen because I've seen these type of trade rumors before. But you cannot fall for this type of stuff. Like, trust me, James Harden will still be a Rocket. Trust me, there's no way he's going to be a Sixer. I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't see many teams. Not saying they can't. I don't see many teams bringing in a rookie coach, even though he's been around the NBA forever. He's never been a head coach, and to be a rookie coach coming in
Exactly.
trying to
Steven
coach
Silas.
superstars.
Like, here's the thing. We don't know how Ben is going to adjust under Steven Silas' system, you know?
I just don't see many teams even wanting to make superstars adjust to young coaches like that, man, because it's hard to garner respect. And so that's why I believe everybody is speculating that the Rockets are going to blow it up and do what OKC did last year, because some of these moves don't make sense if you're not going to blow it up. I mean, you get rid of your coach who could have resigned. You get rid of your general manager who you could have resigned. Now you bring in a rookie coach who's never been a head coach before, and
Mhm.
you have a dysfunctional uh, uh,
Front
team
office and
with
front office.
dysfunctional front office and two superstars that you can clearly see don't mesh together. So it just looks like they're going to blow it up. I mean, again, trading a franchise player is hard, but other teams have done it. Other teams have done it, and look where they're at. Like, look at the Pelicans. They traded Anthony Davis. Look where they're at right now. They were right there on the cusp of being in the playoffs. You
That
got,
is true.
you got OKC, who traded their franchise player, Russell Westbrook. They made the playoffs the next year.
The
So,
playoffs and almost got out the first round. And you can very well argue, Elder, if Harden doesn't block Lou Dort's shot, they would have won that game. You can very well argue because Lou Dort was having a game of his life, man, in that game seven.
no
Hey,
doubt.
hold on, Gideon. There's no guarantee that shot would have went in. There's
There
no
you go.
guarantee that shot would have
It's
went in had
possible. I
James
didn't
Harden
say
not blocked it.
guaranteed. I said it's possible that could have gone in.
No,
Yeah,
Lou
okay. You
Dort
made it
threw that
sound like that
game
was a
because he
I never
was
foregone
said
conclusion.
guaranteed. I never said guaranteed. No, it could have gone either way.
Yeah. So again, I'm looking at the history of teams, and the league has always been a copycat league. Teams like to see what other teams do to get success, and then if it works and they can do it, they try to go right behind it and do it themselves. And we don't know the particulars because everybody in the NBA is just hush hush. There's really no major info coming out because I don't think the people in the NBA know. They don't want to start talking about this, giving their hand up when it comes to the draft. They don't want to start talking about free agency and all that when they don't know how much money they're going to be dealing with. You know what I'm saying? So this is why I think it's just so hush hush, and we just literally have to sit back and wait to these deadlines, man.
I mean, you do have a point. You may have a point. If the Rockets play like crap to start the season, you might have to blow things up. But if you're playing well, I would not if I were Houston.
No, I don't see the success of how you can win though. They've shown me, to me, Houston has shown me enough with the way they've been constructed that I don't see any move I can make. Keeping James Harden, whatever move I make, is that going to be a move enough to guarantee me to get to the Western Conference Finals or the NBA Finals? And the answer to me is
You do have a point. The best move the Rockets have done during their run was the Chris Paul. Because remember, they traded Pat Bev, Lou Will, and Harold to LA to get CP3. And remember, Houston was a win away from beating Golden State. But remember, Luke Mute had an injury that he was one of the best defenders on the team, and Chris Paul went down with his hamstring. You can very well argue if the Rockets were healthy that year, I think they beat the Warriors. But other than that, the Rockets' system of shooting outside shots, not using the big man, and relying on just doing a hardened.
I don't know about that because remember how the Rockets off those games. Remember they had lead in the fourth quarter, then they jacked up 27 3-point shots. They lost the game.
They lost. They were up 15 in Game 7. But the problem is that I didn't see enough pick and roll with Capella. I didn't see enough, ball movement. I didn't see enough, most offense. I saw a lot of jacking up a bunch of outside shots. And if you're going to beat a team like Golden State, you got to move that rock. You got to out rebound them on the glass. The Rockets didn't do that.
Yeah, shout out to Solid Boy 500 in the building. Hey, look, in that game, right? They had Clint Capella, but in a way, they kind of shot the ball. The way that whole arm, that was just an ugly style of basketball. They didn't even try to involve Clint Capella.
Oh, they did not
involve him.
They didn't. In the first half, they did. No, LB. In the first half, they did. In the second half, they didn't.
But then again, that's always been Mike D'Antoni's ammo. It was just an ugly style of basketball, man. I did not like that kind of basketball at all.
If I was the coach of the Rockets, I would be saying, let's preach ball movement. Let's preach, someone spacing out the floor. Let's not preach ISO. That's the problem with Mike D'Antoni. Mike D'Antoni does a lot of ISO basketball and thinks it's going to work. It's not, and it's never worked.
Well, you ain't got to worry about he's no longer a head coach, so there you go.
That may be probably Whitney, though, LB. Mike D'Antoni is super coach there.
What's that?
Mike D'Antoni is an assistant coach in Brooklyn. They may have that.
But he's not the head coach. That means he don't make the final decision. That would be on Steve Nash.
Mm-hmm. And Steve Nash is going to be taking advice from him.
You don't have to take his advice. Look, if you're the head coach, that don't necessarily mean you take your advice from your assistant coaches all the time.
I'm sure Steve Nash will have a system, and he'll want D'Antoni to try to guide him on it.
Right,
I'm sure it'll be some kind of tweaked version. Because again, look what made Steve Nash successful, and look what kind of point guard he got there now in Kyrie and KD. So I don't see them trying to do no half-court slow down, inside out offense. You know what I'm saying? So
true.
They're gonna run. They're just probably gonna do some tweaking to it and see if it can be successful.
But that is true. And here's the thing: the Nets are going to be great offensively because they have a lot of shot creators on their team, and KD, Kyrie, LeVert, Dinwiddie. But the problem is that Brooklyn's not going to be good defensively. Because here's the thing:
whoa. Hold on. Time out. How they not going to be good defensively?
Here's the thing, man. They're gonna be good defensively in the paint, but in the perimeter, they don't have perimeter defenders. That's the problem, though.
Not too many guys can shoot over Kevin Durant. He's a
Man,
7 foot
I,
man.
man, I don't agree with that. I think they could be better defensively, especially with DeAndre Jordan in the paint, commanding the boards and rim protecting.
I
You
mean,
know,
you can do that all you want. Yeah, you can do that all you want, but I'm saying is that you gotta swarm in the perimeter. Why you look what the Lakers did in the finals against the Heat. They did a good job swarming and moving to guard the Heat.
Gideon. You make it
Hey,
seem like Brooklyn give up at least 100 points every game.
hey, LB, I had that thought too, man, because none of the coaches that they hired are defensive coaches.
Yeah, and they
So
don't
I
have
don't
a
know.
bunch
I
of.
gotta
They don't have
see.
a
I gotta
bunch of.
see, man.
Yeah, they don't have a bunch of defensive juggernauts on that team either. And then I see what he
That's
means
what I'm saying.
by wings. They don't have a ton of wings besides Kevin Durant. He's really the only true wing they got because they're going to lose Joe Harris. They're not going to have him. So you got, a two guard and
I thought
LeVert.
they were going to return Joe Harris. Yeah,
Oh boy,
I
getting
thought
with
they were
him.
going to return him.
Yeah, I don't see Joe Harris leaving. I don't see it.
Oh, he's going to take that bag because he's a free agent, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is.
Yeah, he's a free agent.
Yeah, he's gone. He gone. He's a shooter. Somebody going to offer him money that Brooklyn ain't going to be able to offer.
yeah, I think Joe
Nah, if
Harris.
I'm Brooklyn, I'll pay in that bag, Yoder.
No, I
in
don't
that
think they're going to
bag.
do it. I don't think they're going to do it. I don't think they're going to do it because they got a lot of guys to pay in. You got LeVert making good money, Dinwiddie making decent money. You'd have Harris making money, and then you got two max guys. Oh, and then old boy making good money. What's his name? DeAndre Jordan making good money.
Yeah.
So no, I don't see them being able to keep Joe Harris. I really don't. They're gonna have to let him roll. Yeah.
But where do you think Joe Harris would go? What I think a team that Joe Harris could fit, a team like maybe you think he could fit in teams like maybe Indiana or a Memphis? What do you think? Joe Harris, because he can catch and shoot and he can put the ball on the floor.
I think he can fit almost with any team. I mean, that's got room for him. He can shoot. Everybody
And he can put the ball on the floor too. And don't forget, he can put the ball on the floor too. He's tough.
He ain't no good defensively. That's the problem. So you don't need to put him on a weaker team that's already.
Exactly.
Well,
And so there's four teams that are targeting Joe Harris right now. So the Bucks, the Knicks, the Hawks, and the Heat are the four teams that are targeting Joe Harris right now.
I would love to get Joe Harris. I'm a Knicks fan. I would love to get a guy who can catch and shoot the three, and he's very tough. Hey, the dude did win a 3-point contest in 2019, so
Big deal.
I know, but I'm just saying he can catch and shoot. He's a very his jumper is nice, man.
I think your Knicks going to only win 34 games this year.
You think so?
Only 34.
I mean, it's possible. We just need to just make the right moves, though. It's possible.
34. That means y'all still ain't going to the playoffs.
what team?
Well, and the Bulls are not making the playoffs too. What are you saying, man? And the Bulls are not making the playoffs.
Oh, whoa.
I already know that. I already know we ain't gonna get no talking about it.
That's rebuttal. But
All
him,
right.
I see him play against I remember he played against Washington. He had like 6 threes, scored like 27 points.
What team is he saying only gonna get 34 wins?
I said the Knicks.
The Knicks. No, they be blessed to get that. Shoot.
Let's get him in.
So Harden, the next trade rumor, I don't see that one happening. Nope.
That's not gonna happen.
You know, I've been thinking about that trade, man, and I was thinking, what if they do like a 3-way trade with a team like Golden State and get a second pick and Andrew Wiggins, and then they send Ben Simmons over to Golden State, and then you send Harden to Philly, and then you get picks from Philly also. What do y'all think about that?
Nah, I don't like that trade.
You said Ben
That's
Simmons
question.
Every team gonna win off that trade though.
Nah,
you said Ben Simmons
that's not a
Golden
good
State?
trade. Nah.
Yeah.
And who you gonna put on so you can have Ben Simmons play the point and take Curry off the point?
Yeah, you're gonna be filling up that Draymond role. Draymond getting old, and then you need somebody to come in that's gonna
Ben
help you
Simmons
win
not a
now,
power forward,
and
right?
somebody that could be better for
Ben's
the
not a
future.
power forward, right?
So you put Ben Simmons at the 5? What up, Omega Red?
I don't see Ben's a
Nah,
center. I don't think he's a center. He's not a center.
Nah,
Nah.
man,
No, he ain't
you'll
at the
put him at
5.
the point.
So who you gonna
You
take
gonna put
off?
him at
So
the
who you
point.
gonna
Let
take out?
Curry. Curry don't
You
even
gonna take
learn
out
how to play
Draymond?
guard.
You gonna take out Draymond?
Draymond, I would trade Draymond, man. Honestly,
You trade for Draymond for
He
Ben
can play the
Simmons?
3. You've been
no.
got rid of
You would
Wiggins. He
trade
can play the
Andrew
3.
Wiggins, and then you would try to do something else with Draymond, or you could keep him
So
or whatever.
so you have
But
Draymond play the
I would
3.
have Ben
Philly's not
Simmons
going to trade for Draymond. Philly's not going
with
to want
Curry.
to trade. No way.
So say that trade goes down, right? Unlikely, but say that trade does go down. So you're gonna have Draymond Green play the 3 and then Ben Simmons play the 4?
No,
No, I
swap
would
that.
have
Ben Simmons play the 3,
I would
and
have Ben
Draymond
Simmons
play
play
the
the
4.
1.
No, I don't see that. I don't see that.
I just don't see how that. I don't see how
Yeah,
that.
I don't see it. Mm.
Because you need
You can play
somebody that
Ben
can play
Simmons at
deep.
the 3, y'all. He's 6'10".
Right, you can do that too.
Ben Simmons can play the 3.
Because you need defense, man. Clay just got hurt,
That's true.
and Andrew Wiggins ain't gonna.
No, Clay healthy.
Man, here's the
Clay
thing.
ready.
But here's the thing. The Warriors need a big man that can guard the interior. That's the thing. And they need a bench, too.
Hey,
Gideon.
shout out to
They
you,
got
Young
Kevin
Fortune, for subscribing
Gideon.
to
They
the channel,
got
man. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you for subscribing to the channel.
I think
Gideon.
the
The
Warriors
Warriors got
are
$17 million.
better than people think.
I
They
don't
can
see
sign
it. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see that fit in winning with the Warriors.
Yeah, I don't see how that work out either.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Because they've been targeting Ben, man. There's
Well,
rumors.
I can tell you this. Hey, I can tell you this. They become an extremely good defensive team. Because you would
Exactly,
have
Elder.
3 of the better
That's what
defenders
I'm
in the
saying
league
too.
on one
That's
team.
true. Ben and Draymond, that's true.
And they be long because you got 6'7" Draymond, 6'7" Clay, and 6'10" Ben Simmons with them long arms. I mean,
Yep.
Curry, you got
Don't
to
forget,
make up for
Ben
his.
Simmons can dish the rock. And don't forget, Elder, Ben can dish the rock to Steph and Clay for open shots. So, yeah, that's not that you have a point.
Nah, I don't see
He'd have
it.
to start shooting that ball, though,
Hey,
man. He
y'all
got to
getting
shoot the
Mark
ball.
Brown.
Yeah,
playing
but
on the
Elder,
coaching
think
staff.
about this. What's the best team for him to learn how to shoot?
No, I mean, he know how. He just don't have the confidence. He know how
Man,
to
he
shoot.
ain't got no confidence, man. That's why I say,
You ever
man.
watch him in warm-ups, you think that book is one of the best shooters in the league.
Bro,
Yeah.
the last
He just
time
don't got no confidence in the game.
I want to throw this out there. The last time Ben Simmons hit a 3, that was against my Knicks. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but the 76ers probably up by like 25 points when he threw up that 3.
No, it was actually a close game when he did that. It was a close game when he did that.
What's the close game for y'all Knicks? 20?
Bro, don't listen. I'm just saying, Ben. Listen, I don't want to talk about this, okay? Saying is, Ben, that's it. Let's move on from the Knicks.
Oh,
So,
come on, man. The old ass
Don't worry,
nigga.
Gideon.
oh,
You ain't gonna be no,
That's funny.
Gideon. You not gonna weasel out this shit because we about to talk. We gonna talk about your Knicks. So let's talk about.
Look. One thing your Knicks need to do, y'all need to get rid of what's that guy named Dose?
James Dolan. I know. He's a
Get rid of him. Y'all need to get rid of him.
Man, James Dolan ain't going nowhere, man. What's up, Angelo Bell? Salute to Angelo Bell in the building. Hey, man, look, James Dolan ain't going nowhere. That motherfucker could be at some random ass bar in New York playing his saxophone while his team getting their ass beat. Now, that being said, Leon Rose will be the guy that turned things around. I like Leon Rose, and I like Worldwide West. So they gonna get some free agents.
Man, I don't have no faith in the Knicks as long as they got Dolan. I don't care who they bring in.
Like I said,
Hey,
go.
I have. Hey, look, I will not go against you for saying that because after these 20 years has shown us that through all the GMs they fired and the execs they changed and the coaches they changed and the players that one thing has stayed the same, and that's James Dolan on the New York Knicks.
Here's the thing: we're not the only bad franchise in the NBA. I mean, just worse. We're not the only bad franchise. The Timberwolves are bad. The Hawks.
Hold on.
Stop the fact that Gideon.
Hey, hold on, Gideon. What makes y'all worse is that y'all are in the #1 market. in the world. That's the problem.
Right.
I
All
mean,
these
I
other
know.
teams,
Elder,
Right.
small
That's the
markets.
measure.
You guys are the
It's
number
Elder.
one market. You're the number one market, and you're one of the worst teams. That should never happen.
Elder,
I
guess
know
what?
what I'm
They're
saying.
worth
So we're not
$5
doing that.
billion. They're worth $5 billion despite all that.
I know, and that's why Dolan don't care. He still
Yeah, it's
has
the
one of the
fans. They
richest
go
franchises in the
anyways. They go
world,
to the games anyways.
and they don't care. As long as he's making a profit, he don't give a flip. He don't care about winning. Obviously, don't.
That's different between Timberwolves. Don't put the Timberwolves and Knicks in the same
The
stream
Wolves
together.
suck, bro. The Wolves only made the playoffs only
They
one
got some
time.
good players. They got some good. They
The
got
Wolves have great limitations compared to the Knicks, though. Great
What you
limitations.
they got Cat. They got
Wolves
D'Lo. They got D'Lo. They got
Wolves-
but they got D'Lo. They got what do
That
y'all?
don't matter.
What do Knicks
Hold
have?
on, hold on. The Timberwolves were in the playoffs a few years ago. What are you talking
Uh,
about?
listen,
Yeah.
that's one time in a decade. So what are you talking about?
Dude.
They did when
Look,
KG was
they
there.
got some good
What
players.
do you mean one time in a decade? What are you talking about, Gideon?
Oh, dude, yeah. The
Listen,
Timberwolves got some good players, dude. What Knicks? Who is y'all good player in the Knicks?
I mean, RJ Barrett's a good player. Like, what are you
No, he's
saying?
not.
No, it's not.
RJ Barrett's not a good player. What are you
He's a
talking
scrub.
about?
No, it's not.
He's athletic. He can hit a three sometimes. What are you saying? And he's
Sometimes.
Oh, hold on, Gideon. When last time the Knicks made the playoffs? Back in like 2013?
Yes, I know.
And the Timberwolves made the playoffs since then. So
It
what is
doesn't
Hey,
matter. It doesn't matter. The Wolves have been to the playoffs one time since
hey.
04.
They made it in 2013, but what was the time before that? What was the time before that they made it?
We made it in 2011, 2012, and 2013. 3 years
So
in a
3
row.
years in a row?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that. I gotta
I
go back
don't
and look
remember
that up.
that.
I gotta go look that up. I did not know they made it
You
3 years
say
in a row.
RJ Barrett? You say the same RJ Barrett that cost Duke a national championship trying to play hero ball? That RJ Barrett? No.
He's He's not a bum. What are you talking about? He's a decent player.
You can have him.
You can have. We don't want RJ.
You can have him, bro.
Oh hell no! Hey, look, hey Gideon, I know you try to stick up for your team and shit like that. That's completely admirable. I respect you for that. God bless you. But you can't sit up here and tell lies like that.
How high? RJ's decent. I'm not saying he's great. He's not great, but he's decent. Let's see how his career goes. All right. You never know how a career can go sometimes. You know. Let's just be patient. So let's be patient. Let's not go crazy. All right. Let's not go crazy.
So yeah, you know what? I'll give you that because we give Lonzo Ball all this time. Shit, might as well give him some time to do.
They still giving him this time to
Sucks.
this day. They still giving Lonzo Ball this time. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. We all know Lonzo Ball stinks, but that's why I'm giving Gideon the one time I'm gonna give Gideon the pass.
All right.
But I'll tell you right now, RJ Barrett better not stick up the joint this year.
Oh, he better not. If he sucks this year, I'm done with him. I know.
After 2 years, because it's gonna be the second year of Gideon.
I know.
Gideon,
but
you're right. You're right. They got kicked out of the first round. Those 2 years, right? Those first 2 years. They
Yeah.
did make it, but they got kicked out of the first round.
Yeah, they lost first round. Then they made it to the Eastern Conference semis in 2013.
2000. Oh yeah, you have a point. It's 2013.
Then before that, they got in 2004.
No, you got your facts wrong. In 2012, we lost to Miami in the first round. We were expected to lose that series. Listen,
Yeah.
2011. No, you said. Oh, you skipped 2012 and 2011, brother. Skip those seasons.
No.
No,
just
we said that.
They made it.
We
3
said you
years
lost
in a
in the
row.
first round.
Yeah,
That's what we just said.
yeah, to better teams. We lost to Boston with the big three and Miami to the big three.
Man, nobody trying to hear all that.
Not an excuse. It's a fact, though. Yes, it's true. Like, come on, man. Like, you want us to beat those teams?
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
It
What are you
don't
talking
matter
about?
how the team look on paper, Gideon. You still got to try to go out there and beat the team, no matter what.
I mean, you have a point. Here's the thing: we give every other team a pass. If we're gonna go by that logic that we have to beat the Heat, why are we not bashing like the Nuggets beating the Lakers by that logic, right? Because if you get them,
When the Nuggets beat the Lakers in the playoffs?
here's the thing. We were a 7 seed in 2012 against the Miami Heat, who's a 2 seed, who went to the finals the year before. Like the Heat were supposed to win it all. Bro, that matters. The Heat were supposed to beat us, though.
Man, so much for
Yeah,
having
So
faith.
maybe you gave up.
Y'all
You
Knicks
gave
suck.
up.
That's the point.
I'm disappointed in you, Gideon.
Because every time some player plays the Knicks, they get a career high.
Bro, again, we're not the only bad team in the league. Like y'all act like we're the only bad team in the NBA. There's worse franchises. So what are you talking about?
We ain't talking about nobody else. We talking about the Knicks. We
But
know
I'm
that there's bad teams in the
We talking
NBA.
about your old ass Knicks. Yeah.
We know that there's bad teams in the NBA, Gideon, but we talk about your New York Knicks.
So, hey, we're gonna be good in the future. Just give us some time. Watch.
Damn, how much time you need? Yeah.
Yeah, we got all the time in the world, right? You know what I'm saying? Because the world about to come to an end, Gideon.
Oh,
Hey, you know the Knicks. The problem with the Knicks, I guess they have made the playoffs. They just haven't won a championship. And when you're in the biggest market and one of the most attractive cities in the world, you should be able to close the deal. And they constantly get to third base, second base, and they can't close the deal. That's what's
I
disappointing.
mean, the only year you can kill us for losing is '94. The only year that I
95
can
too.
bash my team for listen. The only year that you can bash my team for losing is '94. Like, what are you
And
saying? Like
95, when Patrick Ewing missed that
95, you
playoff,
should,
when he
bro.
missed
You
that
have
field
Clyde
goal, he should
Drexler,
have the ball.
Hakeem, Kenny Smith. What are you saying, bro? If we
So
were in the
that
finals,
don't matter.
bro.
So
If we were in
you
the
got
finals,
Patrick Ewing,
listen.
you got Patrick Ewing, Anthony Mason, Derek Harper,
That matter.
Where
John
was John
Starks.
Starks at? That's my question. Where was John Starks in Game 7 of the 94 NBA Finals?
Listen, didn't I just say in '94 we fucked up? Didn't I just say in '94 we fucked up? I said
Yeah,
in
you can
'94.
throw 95 in there too, Gideon.
Wait, what?
You can throw 95 in there too.
Uh,
Did y'all
okay.
not play the Pacers in the second round? Did Patrick Ewing not miss that finger roll when he should have dunked the balls in fourth overtime in Game 7?
I'll be fair. We should have beat the Pacers. We should have beat that. There's no excuses for that. But even if we did, who's to say we beat the Magic? Who's to say we beat the Rockets? So what are you saying?
Y'all was a more better team than the Magic.
So what y'all saying? So what you saying is y'all was a disappointment.
Okay, I'll say, bro. There's been more disappointing teams in certain decades. You know what I mean? The 2015.
Yeah, we know that, but we ain't talking about none of that. We talking about your Knicks.
Oh, cut us some slack a little bit, all right? Like, cut us some slack.
No.
Oh, hell no, you ain't getting no slack.
Hey,
Hell no, you ain't getting no slack.
to me, if they weren't in the biggest market and done the biggest blunders, because they've not only been bad on the court, they've been bad in the front office. They've been bad with PR. I mean, they just been a laughing stock, man. That's the problem with the Knicks. And they got an owner that doesn't care. This is why I don't have no faith in them. He doesn't care. So how are you going to get better when the guy that's running you, writing the checks, doesn't truly care if you win?
Well, you have to wait and see what the GM does.
And the fans don't put no pressure on them, brother. That's the problem.
No,
right there. They still go to.
They keep buying
all the games.
They keep buying season tickets year after year after year from the nostalgia. Dumbest group of fans I ever met in my life.
Son, we gonna go back. Yeah, boy, we got this play. Yeah, we gonna make it to the playoffs. Like,
some of the Knicks fans. What are you talking about?
Elder, this why I don't understand. Why do Spike Lee keep buying season tickets for the Knicks fans when they threw him out the game?
Yeah, man. Y'all be like, yo, we got this play. We got.
Hey, I gotta go, guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Yo, man, we gonna make the playoffs.
I
was talking about Spike Lee.
Old country buffet, get back here.
Gideon said, "Bump that shit. I'm not gonna sit around here and listen to y'all bash my Knicks. Bump that."
I'm talking about Spike Lee. He keep on buying season tickets.
What you say, Ryder?
Spike Lee, remember he keep on buying season tickets, and James Dolan threw him out the arena.
The Knicks are sold out for like the next 20 years, bro. Something stupid like that. That's why I said that's the dumbest group of fans I ever met in my life, man.
Even
To
Spike Lee.
constantly support
Spike
that
Lee
crap
gonna be one of the
when the
dumbest.
owner doesn't care. I can see having low years, down years, but when you can see this guy literally does not care. He don't care if he wins or not. He's making minimal base moves. He's making moves behind the scenes to appease, you know what I'm saying, old past relationships, but not really trying to win. Man, this stuff they doing, you can forget it, bro. You
Yeah,
can
man.
forget clear moves they could make to garner great respect from the fans and guys that have been proven. New York born guys, they just not gonna do it. Man, these cats, man. I ain't got no faith in the
But
Knicks.
Elder, you know the main reason why Stars ain't going to New York because of how you gonna treat Charles Oakley that one night.
Bro, when you can treat these people that have been paying you millions of dollars for decades, millions. Spike Lee have paid millions for those tickets, bro.
Yeah.
And you treat them like that. You treat
No
you
respect.
treat one of your superstars from the past. He's a Nick. Charles Oakley is a Nick, and you treat him like that.
I
Man,
know, right? That's that. Hey, Elder, that was some bullshit. Hey, shout out to Anna for being in the chat room. I appreciate you, Queen. Frederick Jackson, Tiana Jones. I see y'all up in here. Salute to all of y'all in the
I'm
chat room
gonna
tonight. That's right. Hey, man, you absolutely right about that, Elder. Man, look. And then, you know what pissed me off even more, Elder?
yeah.
When James Dolan Pitt, Latrell Sprewell, and what that motherfucker Larry Johnson, they sitting up and they kikiing up with that motherfucker, man.
Again, man, boogers be posturing, bro. They be posturing for their futures, man. And halftime it don't be working because these boogers don't care, man. I mean, from the moves that he's made, I just can see a man that's content because he's making a bunch of money and it doesn't matter if he wins. So why spend a bunch of extra millions when he ain't guaranteed to win no ways? You see what I'm saying? So that's the
Right.
position he's taking. So it's like accepting mediocrity in that city, man. And again, the reason I put so much pressure on the Knicks is because you're in the biggest market. You're in the biggest market. You're like the only cold weather city that people will actually want to go live in, which I have no idea why, because I hate New York City. But you see what I'm saying? People will go. Players will go there. And again, you can't get the big stars to go there because you're in that, man. And that's why, I ain't got no faith in them. I'm not gonna have no faith in no players, no coaches, no nothing in New York until Dolan sell that team, which is not because he's making him a profit.
I stopped having faith in them since once they lost to the playoff. When they lost to the playoff again to the Heat, I was like, yeah, they done. Mm-hmm.
But you know, James Dolan, the New York Knicks is not the only franchise he runs. You know what I'm saying? He runs the New York Liberty, the New York Rangers. Pretty much anything that comes in and out of Madison Square Garden is under James Dolan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the Knicks ain't the only franchise. But yeah, you are right though. Them fans, man, them fans be showing up at the game. These motherfuckers 17 to 56, and they running to the arena like they're 56
And
to
they
17.
still think they was gonna make it to the playoff. Like, yo, when we got this person, yo, son, we gonna make it to the playoff. Yo, man, it's gonna be different. And I'll be like, y'all is suck. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess I can't knock them too bad because that is loyal to a fault. But I do care about loyalty, but I just think a lot of what they dealing with is stupidity when a guy is just slapping you in the face and then it just got total disrespect for people that have just carried you along the way. I'm just disgusted with the Knicks. I ain't gonna lie, I'm disgusted with them boogers, man. So
Me too, man. You know, so that segues into this. So you think Drew Holiday goes to the Knicks?
man, honestly, LB, right now, I don't know what nobody gonna do. Because again, I don't think these teams know. They don't know what they're gonna do in the draft. They don't know what they're gonna do with free agency. They don't know what kind of money they're working with. And then, from what I'm hearing, everybody's concerned about the losses that they're gonna take going into next season. Not this one coming up. The season after is the one where they already know they're like 4.5 billion in the hole already for that season. And it's like, wow. So I don't know what these guys are thinking, these owners are thinking, man. I don't know what they're thinking right now. So
and that's gonna have an impact on these max contracts too. You can see these owners and GMs being very, very careful about who they giving max contracts to.
they should have been doing that, I think, because there's a lot of
Well,
people
yeah.
money that shouldn't be making it.
Oh yeah, I agree. I think with you
Did
100%.
y'all see that for the next 2 years they're gonna decrease
Getting-
everybody's salaries?
Well, it's part
For
of
the
the
next 2
collective
years?
bargaining. Yeah, it's a part of the collective bargaining.
Yeah,
It's
that's
part
all
of
got to do
the
collective
escrow
bargaining.
that
Yeah.
they got to hold back. But still, it just these players. I don't know how these players are going to respond when they checks are literally possibly going to be cut in half. Amount that they be able to take home, especially if that thing balloons all the way up to that 30-40 percentile, the escrow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money they ain't gonna be able to take home, bro.
No, Elder, they were saying today that they're not gonna do it that way. They're gonna do it for the next 2 years, so it's not a big hit.
They're gonna do what?
They're gonna lower their pay for the next 2 years so that they can pay them more this season, and then they'll pay them a little bit less next season, so they won't take a big as a hit.
Yeah, but that's still they already had it in there at 10%. But imagine going from 10 to 18 or 10 to 20. That's still a big hit, bro.
Yeah.
That's a huge hit. And what you're forgetting is this: you get paid by the games you play. So if you take it from 10% to 20% in the escrow and go from 82 games to 50 games, bro, you know how much money? That's literally like half your salary, bro.
Yeah,
Well, that's about a third of your salary. 25% to 30-some% of your salary. That's a lot of money, bro.
Yeah, why you
they
think they want to play 72 games? They don't want to play 50 games.
They showed LeBron's breakdown today because he's supposed to make $39 million, and if they go to 72 games, he's gonna make $34 million, right? But then they do what the players want and go to 50 games, and they put that escrow at 20%. That brother's only gonna make $24 million out of 40 because he's supposed to be making 39.
Oh no! Oh hell no! Hey man, you already know that motherfuckers were trying to play. They're trying to play 72 games, man. There ain't no way they're trying to play 50 games. But you know, not only that is a hit from a player's aspect, but you know that gives the damn TV networks ammunition now to renegotiate that contract.
Oh, if they don't play 70 games, yeah, you're right. They got to play 70 games to guarantee that money.
Yeah.
So that's why they really want to get
trying to keep that. They're trying to shit. They're trying to recoup that bread.
They said that's automatic $500 million right there if we don't play 72 games.
Right.
I'm like, man, that's why I don't know. I don't know what these teams are going to do because some of these owners may look at this thing and be financially strapped, and they may have a fire sale, bro. You see what I'm saying? They may have a fire sale to think about it. If they can project that the next 2 years are going to be just as bad or close to it, these guys may not want to have these guys in the contract. So they may just start fire selling guys that got cap space, guys that want to give me back draft picks and money that's going to fall off my book. You have no idea what these guys are going to do.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
see what you're saying, Elder.
I'm waiting to see. This is when the rich get richer. Because the rich is the really rich, they're the ones that can survive something like this.
Yeah.
Them lower teams, they're gonna be struggling. Them lower teams or them cheap teams like the Bulls, they're gonna be struggling.
I definitely agree on that.
Hey, you heard Boston trying to move up in the draft?
To what number?
I don't know yet.
I heard they want Wiseman.
That'll probably be in the top.
They want a big
the
man.
top 5.
I heard they want that big man.
Yeah, they might move at the top 5 if they want.
No shit.
willing to give up
move in the top 3. You better move in the top 3 to get him. He ain't gonna be there at 5.
True, he might not even be there at 3, Elder.
You right.
Golden State might take him.
You are right about that. You are right. I think Golden State really wants to package Wiggins and that number 2 draft pick for a superstar. Not just a star. They will prefer a superstar to replace KD. That's what they want. Hey, could you imagine? Hey, could you? And I'm not saying this is a thing, y'all. I'm not saying it is.
Mhm.
Could you imagine Golden State sending Wiggins and the number 2 pick and a couple of key things to Houston for Hart?
That would
Hey,
be
we've
like
been talking
that would
about
be
this
like
for the
me.
last.
That would be like a
Hey,
steal.
we've
That
been
would be
talking
like
about
a
this for
steal.
the last couple weeks now.
Ooh, I ain't
I,
gonna lie. That'd be the coldest three guard backcourt ever, man.
that would be like a steal.
But the thing is, Elder, it's Harden willing to give up some of his points to play on that team.
Oh yeah. Hey, don't forget, Harden started off with a team like that with him, KD, and Westbrook. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
People don't think Hart. People think because this is all they've seen from Hart the last 5 years. They think this is how he has to play. He doesn't. Hart can play differently. He can, and if he in the right situation, I believe he would.
He played differently under the first coach before D'Antoni.
Yeah, he played different at the beginning of last year. Look how much he was deferring.
You know
And
something.
now we got to get Russ going.
You know something.
Definitely
Adding James Harden to that Golden State team probably be a good thing for Klay Thompson because he is coming back from an injury, and plus he wouldn't have played those many minutes like that.
Boy, that perimeter would be rough to guard, bro. That perimeter would be rough because Harden can put it on the ground and get to the rack. I mean, I know people say he's one-dimensional, but here's the thing: nobody can stop that one dimension. You know, people don't knock Kareem because of the hook shot. That's all he had. That's it. He ain't had no variety. 85% hook shot, baby. Nobody can stop it. Why change it? So I ain't mad at Harden just because all he do is get to the rim or take a step back three. If ain't nobody gonna stop it, he working.
If it ain't broke, don't
kicking it out to Klay and Steph.
Yeah, and still you got them at the top of
Hey, don't forget, Golden State gonna still have 17 million left over if they do get Harden.
No, they won't have that much. I guarantee it. Because that'll be 3 max players plus Draymond money. Because he ain't getting a max, but he got a high salary. Ain't no way they have more cap space. Ain't no way. Because you got 40-40 and Harden and what's his name? Babyface Fashion. Then you got 30-something in old boy. You got 25 in Draymond. No, ain't no way they're gonna have no cap space left. Ain't no way.
No, they ain't got no money like that. They just, matter of fact, Draymond Green
They
money.
way over the cap, bro. They way over the cap right now.
Yeah, they got to pay that luxury tax there, boy.
Yeah, them in Portland and I forgot who else it was.
I think
3 teams.
I thought they had like 17 million like trade deception.
No,
trade.
That still counts, though. And you can use it, and you just don't pay tax on that amount. But they still already over the cap. They still already over it. Yeah, they did get this trade exemption for I thought who was it, Iggy or whoever, or it was for somebody.
Trouble for the Heat?
No, they got a trade exemption, didn't they? The Golden State Warriors.
I think so too.
Yeah, it might have been for Iggy or something. It's like a lot, 17 million. But again, you can spend that money, and I don't think they tax you on that particular amount of money. But that's still money you got to spend, and you're already over the trade cap. Yeah, they already made it public that they're not going to spend that money unless they realize that it can help them win a championship.
Exactly.
They got no plan.
If Harden does get to with Golden State, how will fans look at him after that?
Man, they wouldn't care. Hey, how the OKC fans look at Westbrook? Think about it. Man, them buggers ain't going to care. They'll take a little bit of hit and they'll be gone. Houston pissed anyways because they can't win. So half the fans will be like, good, get him out of here. Half of them will be mad, you know.
I think they're blowing that team up, though. They're blowing that shit up in Houston, man. I think everybody's going for the right price. I know they say James Harden ain't going nowhere, but look, if it's the right price, they're going to pull the trigger on that shit. Hey, Anna, if you want to come in, you can hop in if you want to, Anna. Shout out to Unique Dawn in the building. Appreciate you for being up in here. But yeah, man, let's talk about this. So y'all know the Utah Jazz was sold?
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, tech billionaire. The Utah Jazz was sold to Ryan Smith. He's a tech billionaire. and he's a lifelong fan. So for what it's worth, so maybe he can make Utah out to be a contender, but I don't see it right now. Let me see what else.
In Utah, they got Donovan Mitchell, Joker,
and Rudy Gobert for now, because he's on already doing crazy block.
Mm.
You mean Rudy Gobert, not Joker?
Oh, you mean Utah?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Joker, Donovan Mitchell, Mike Conley.
Mike Conley got a lot of proving to do because he really stunk up the joint this season.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting
Now, he
old,
did play
man.
well in the playoffs.
How old is Mike Conley now, LB?
I think he's like in his early 30s or something like that.
When he got drafted,
Oh,
he got
man. I
drafted
feel like he's
around.
been in the league forever, man.
No, he got drafted around 2007, right?
He's 33 years old.
Yeah, Mike Conley wasn't really focused in the bubble because his I think his wife just had a baby, something like that.
Yeah. So yeah, Mike Conley, 33 years old. He was drafted out of Ohio State. Matter of fact, he was drafted the same year, I believe, from the same year Greg Oden was drafted out.
Kevin Durant, Kobe Brewer, Jakeem Noah, Al Halford.
Portland got to be the most dominant franchise ever in history. They had a chance to draft Kevin Durant, but they draft Greg Oden.
Yeah, that was a huge mistake.
Well,
I mean, was it really a mistake drafting Greg Oden? Look, I know 2020, but look, Greg Oden was one of the best players in college basketball coming out that year.
I mean, yeah, but they didn't.
Yeah, but look at it in hindsight.
But LB, he had a history of a leg injury though.
Yeah, but that didn't mess. They didn't mess up when they draft Litter and McCullough.
Yeah, but imagine putting KD with them guys.
I mean, it's easy to say that now, but look, ain't no denying the kind of upside that Greg Oden possessed. And then when he did play, the motherfucker was a beast. So I mean, I like Greg Oden when he played, man. It's just unfortunate his career went the way it did, but
now he's a 7'1" dentist.
That's all right.
Yeah, that was hurtful.
Oh, he a dentist?
Yeah. He said
that motherfucker need to hood up LeVar Ball. Shit.
He said he always wanted to be a dentist, so he was forced to play basketball.
I know a person I need to go see him, LeVar Ball, with all his fucking brown teeth and shit.
He said the only reason he didn't play basketball was they forced him because he was big.
All kind of shit, root canals and all that. He over there talking about big baller brand needs sponsors. Hell, I know a sponsor you can use. Colgate, nigga.
Hey,
no, LeVar Ball needs to stay off the coffee and stop smoking.
No, what I think LeVar Ball needs to do is let his son grow, because he's 19, he's about to be a man. He's 20, he's about to be a man of his own once he get drafted. I just let him fly, let him flow.
Y'all think Minnesota gonna really trade that pick at number 1?
No.
It depends.
But then again, I don't. Just like Elder say, man, I have no idea how this thing is gonna work, man. I really don't. I have no idea.
Hey, LB, the anticipation is crazy, all right.
What's that?
The anticipation to see what's gonna happen is crazy this year.
I know, right?
Hey, it's more crazy what's going on in PA right now.
What's going on?
They still counting over there in PA with the anticipation on what we're gonna find out tonight at 8 o'clock our next tomorrow morning.
About the presidency or something?
Yeah.
Man, fuck Joe Biden and Donald Trump. That's
Yeah,
why I said,
that's what I'm saying. Because we like, these people on celebrity, they're like, whoa, I ain't doing shit.
But the thing is, Bernie Sanders said what was going to happen a couple weeks ago.
yeah, I don't want to get into politics right now. I'm gonna say that for a political video. I want to stay on the NBA. Don't worry, we're gonna talk politics in my next video. But I want to stay on the
Because
NBA.
that one video you had was good this morning.
No, that morning video, that was a horrible day when I did that morning video. When I was in that morning video, that was horrible.
What video?
That the thing we talked about, the John Wall said the NBA is going soft.
Oh yeah.
The NBA is soft. It's been soft for years.
And you got people here bashing the man in the comments. Like, man, he need to worry about his team making it deep in the playoffs, like in his injury. And we talking about the NBA soft. Like,
and when the NBA draft is?
Ooh, that's like
I think it is
November 18th.
November.
Okay, so yeah, it is on the 18th. Yeah, Wednesday, November 18th is the NBA draft. That's right. But yeah, look, John Wall was not lying when he said what he said. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I know why he said what he said, because you got a lot of players that's going, you know, teaming up and all that, and you know, whatever happened to the level of competition. That's why when I was on Ticket Channel earlier today, and that PJ Pussy Juice,
oh my God, this man.
That fucking Down syndrome bastard was like, man, you always talk about the girl, you always put it down the new.
I'm telling you what happened. So we talking about
He's like, hold on, before we do that, let me finish this up. I'm getting this out. So he turned around and say, man, you're always shitting on the new generation. I'm like, hold on. And this when I called him on his hypocrisy. So I'm like, hold on. Y'all telling us we shitting on the new generation and whatnot, but yet y'all out here bashing Kevin Durant for leaving OKC to go to Golden State. When I said that, the motherfucker was quiet as a church mouse. Now go ahead.
Yeah, so we talking about it. He's like, no, the lead ain't soft. And he was like, give me 3 reasons why the lead's soft. And I gave him the 3 reasons. He was like, nah, they ain't. That's not true. They don't. I told him, y'all could be friendly off. I said, it's the friendly stuff on court. And I said, and I gave him an example. I said, guys like Jordan, Charles Oakley, Charles Barkley, they friends off court, but on court they competitive. That's what it lacks the NBA today, is the competitiveness. He'd be like, yeah, and I told him like, yeah, I might be friends with you off court, but on court we in different teams. I'm gonna bust your ass.
Yeah, you're right, bro. LeBron was recruiting Kawhi on court.
Yeah, but I'm like, that's what changed. Like, now people want to join teams with each other instead of like going head to head like guys like that, like guys like Magic and Bird. Like, yeah, we know Magic and Bird, they are friends off court, but on court they're rivals.
You want to know where this started at, y'all? Back in the Olympics, when they back in those Dream Team days.
Yeah.
Well, like back, I think the 2008 Olympics, you had these superstars talking to each other, becoming buddy. Then they got the idea of forming a super team together, and this is what you got now.
Yeah, but I see. I think I saw it around. Yeah.
What up, LB? What up, Lou?
The super team, the whole concept.
But LB. Also, you realize how LB, keep this out. KJ get mad because KD joined the Warriors, but he want Giannis to leave his team and join, guess who? The Warriors.
Man,
like,
see, that
hypocrisy is crazy, man.
Right there, man. That's hypocrisy right there.
Yeah, because he talked about all KD left. I'm like, LeBron, and I know they're two different situations, but y'all get y'all like.
I just wanted to ask you. You say the league is soft, because I didn't hear why. I'm just coming in late. I'm just coming in late.
No, John Wall said that the league. He didn't say soft. He said it was too friendly. He was like,
okay, that's two different things.
Yeah.
And the league has always been friendly. The guys have always been friends behind the scenes. I mean, it's easy to
Yeah, we
point
know
out
that.
rivalries. It's easy to point out, even in the 90s. I mean, Jordan went golfing with Danny Ainge during the NBA Finals. I mean, guys have always been friends. It just hasn't been as publicized as now because of social media. I mean, we could say it's friendly. They don't have to like it. But the fact of the matter is that these guys with prep schools and with AAU teams, these guys are all playing with, they're growing up with each other. Unlike the 90s where you went to a high school, you stayed separate from these guys, you really didn't know them. We live in a day and age now where if you're one of the best players in the country, young, you're going to go and join a prep school. You're going to meet these guys. You're going to be engaged with them early off the court. You're probably going to be friends with them. So there's no real reason to hate them off the court. That doesn't affect the competition on the court. Some of my toughest games have been against my best friends because we compete against each other hard.
9 points or something?
Say that again.
You scored like 8 points or something?
No, I'm just saying, it's not about scoring. I'm just saying we come at each other harder because when you know your friends, you know your games. Like if me and you played against each other off the court 100 times, and then we get in the game and we're on different teams, I know your game, you know my game. It's gonna make it even tougher, especially if we have to guard each other. So when I look at it like that, I mean, just them being friends. I mean, you can not like it, but at the end of the day, it's just how it is. And it starts at the prep school level. When these guys are in 8th and 9th grade, the AAU circuit, they're putting all these guys together. That's just how it is. And I mean, there's no problem with it because to me, it's not affecting the level of competition on the court.
This is my thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look, I hate when people come up and say, well, the old generation's hating on the new ones. Okay, well, y'all bash each other every day about this player doing this and this player doing that and this player not doing this and that player not doing that. So what I'm saying is this: how are we the haters if y'all bashing LeBron for doing this and you're bashing his teammates for not doing that and KD doing this, but you bash KD, you find every avenue to hate Kobe Bryant, but you find every avenue to hate KD. So how are we haters when you guys run around hating on this person and that person? All these young snappers, all these young Thundercats out there. How are we hating?
LB.
We're talking about you, Lamont. Stop making this about you.
No, I'm not saying about me. I'm just trying to respond to what you're saying. I'm not saying. I know you're not talking about me, and I know you're probably not talking about nobody in this panel. I know you're talking in general. And what I'm saying is, I think that happens with all age groups. I think as fans in general, especially if you're a fan of a team and your team is getting beat by another team, you're always going to find a way to, not like other teams. Like if I'm a Portland Trailblazer fan, I mean, they're rivals, like, certain teams that they play. I don't like other players because they always give Portland Trailblazers problems when they play. That's just the nature of being fans of the game. And that's young and old. So I don't mind that. That just comes with the game. The players going to get criticized. Like people, regardless of KD could have went to the Warriors and won 10 championships. He would have got criticized. He would have went there. He did what he did. He went 2-1. He's still getting criticized. Like, it doesn't matter what players do. They can do it the traditional way, the 90s way, so-called right way. They can do it the way players do it in this era by teaming up, and people are still going to find ways to complain. Either way, that's just the nature of the game. That's all. It's just the nature of the game.
Yeah, LB, I hate AAU because some of these AAU teams, dudes have taken away some of the recruits at University of Louisville trying to get. And this whole AAU thing is like a buddy system right now when it comes to college recruiting.
Yeah. Like I get, and I totally get what John was saying, but keep it cordial, but don't be buddy like almost every player now due to social media and almost every player that and money they get paid. But for example, Allen Iverson, when he stepped over Tar Lue, he always said that he loves him. And what he did for him was the competitor in him that had plays to do that he might be cordial with. It's not a blurred judgment when he's not winning bit when he's playing. You have no friends in the game. But if you're a competitor, then you get that. But it's not that hard they play. It's the mindset they have when they play.
This is my thing, right? This is my thing. You can't. I just don't like people saying that we hate on this. We hate on this generation of players and things like that. That really gets on my nerves when people say that because they're like, well, you know. And then when you ask them about players from back then, they can't tell you the first thing about them. A lot of times, these guys in the media are misinforming people, like your Nick Wrights, your fucking Kendrick Perkins of the world, and all that. These guys these guys get power and influence on TV. These guys put up all kinds of rhetoric on TV that creates this toxic environment, right? And look, it's look. I ain't bashing LeBron James. Look, I ain't the biggest LeBron James fan, but I'm not gonna sit here and lie on it, and I'm not gonna sit here and cap on it. At the same time, you got a lot of flunkies out there that do, and they find every which little thing to denigrate basketball that came before them. Look, I know that here in look, I grew up watching Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, and all that. Right? I grew up watching those players. Now the guys that nowadays that are that in like their early 20s and all that, they're gonna watch. They're gonna say, well, LeBron James is their favorite player. I got no issue with that. Right? But all I'm saying is don't denigrate the basketball that came before you to prop up the basketball now because there's a whole dynamic that a lot of guys that are younger that are watching basketball now are not realizing what happened back then. That's all I'm saying. That's where I'm going at with that. I like I watch the game of basketball. I love basketball. Man, look, some of these guys nowadays got so much athletic ability and all that, but at the same time, when we talking about building a legacy, um, winning championships, having a story that's being told in your behalf, right? The standard is the standard. And if you don't make that standard, then look, you got to get cut. You know? Look, I got
Mm-hmm.
James Harden. I think James Harden is a hell of a player, through all the traveling and shit. But nevertheless, he's still a hell of a player. But you can't go through these years of coming up short in the playoffs and not expect to get criticized for it. And I think a lot of these motherfuckers running around here today are weak-minded. They can't take criticism. The first time they get any kind of criticism, we get these blanket, you're a hater. Man, LB, you a fucking hater. You need to stop hating on that. That is a hell of a basketball player. Man, fuck out of here. Just because I'm criticizing somebody don't mean I don't like them. Don't mean I hate them.
Hey, LB, man, I'm gonna head out, man. Hey, thanks for letting me on, bro. I appreciate it.
All right, Randy, yes, man. Be safe out there, man. You know what I'm saying? Covidius Maximus reigns supreme.
All right, man. Salute to the rest of the panel.
Yes,
I
sir.
feel what you're saying. I feel what you're saying, LB, man. But every time you ask these guys about basketball history, they don't even know a damn thing.
Yeah, and that's exactly my point. My thing is, if you don't know your history, right? Because the rules now were different back then, right? The way they call fouls, the way they call technical fouls, the way players got ejected. A flagrant foul was just a flagrant foul back then. Nowadays, you got two types of flagrant fouls, and the second one gets you kicked out the game.
Mm.
Or a spending point game.
But is that the NBA or the players?
So when Joe Wall said what he said, I ain't got no issue with what he said. That's what he feel. Hell, Luka Doncic said that. Luka Doncic said that the NBA is soft now. So I mean, when you got these players out here saying that, then look.
But the rules are made to make the game pretty for TV and marketing. That's the rules. Like, I mean, the NBA is they're all they're doing is just trying to maintain a certain reputation to make it look a certain way on TV, and the players just got to adjust to it. The game changed from the 80s to the 90s, from the 90s to the 2000s, and all players can do is to just adjust. That's all.
Lamont, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
When the game, when they used to have those like 90, like used to have 90 to 87 games back in the day, you didn't like
you didn't like it. You like the way the game like 145.
But Lou, me, like all of us here, we can probably consider ourselves to be basketball junkies. So like you, me, and LB, we appreciate that type of game, especially if it turns into a defensive matchup. See, but not everybody out there are basketball junkies and appreciate the game to that level. So if you're not a big time basketball fan, those games will get boring and you'll find yourself turning away. Remember when the Spurs kept winning championships and those finals kept getting really low ratings because the Spurs were boring. Nobody wanted to see that. And so, I mean,
me, I had no problem with those type of games. Look, I had no problem with the type of way the Spurs play.
No, I didn't. No. That's what I'm saying. We all here respect that. We all love that. But that's just basketball junkies like us only make up maybe what 10% of the population, if that. Everybody else are just fans. They just want to see. They want to be entertained. They don't. Half the people that watch don't even play, so they don't really understand the game like we do. So I can't hold them to the same level. So when the NBA wants to capitulate to the masses are just the fans. We're the minority. The basketball junkies are the minority because we like seeing that real basketball. And then once you really accept that, then you know that I understand that's a business. And then from the business side of things, they got to do things to make it look good for TV. I respect that. The same thing with the NFL. You can't have the starting quarterbacks getting KO'd, getting helmet to helmet collisions. They have to
don't get me started. Don't get me started.
I know, but what I'm saying is the rule changes, and you got to think this all started when players from the 60s, 70s, 80s started filing these lawsuits because they were having lingering injuries after their careers ended, and these leagues weren't taking care of them. So when they start filing these lawsuits, now the league says, okay, to protect ourselves from lawsuits, to better marketing, we're going to implement these rules so this doesn't happen in the future. So, I mean, that's why. I mean, once your career is over.
Basically, what you're saying, the attorneys are running the pro leagues now.
You said who, the attorneys?
Yeah, it's kind of.
No, the market runs it. What fans want to see determines it. And then, like I say, the NBA having lawsuits, when you have retired players coming out saying that the NBA is not taking, or these leagues aren't taking care of our medical bills, we're dealing with lingering injuries, we got headaches, we got all of these, disorders associated with playing a long career, getting banged up, and they're not taking care of us. Well, what they're going to do now, the NBA in these leagues are going to find a way to protect themselves. So how can we have these players' careers end so they don't have all these head injuries or all these lingering injuries? Well, we're gonna have to make the game quote unquote softer so that they don't, so they're not, exposed to those types of hits over and over and over without penalty. That's all. I mean, it's not the players, it's the rules. And you players can't do nothing about the rules. But I will never call these players soft. I'll call the rules soft.
Hey, look, like I said before, hey, everybody got their opinion, but we just got to agree to disagree. I want to, move on from this, man. I just think a lot of these times, we're giving players way too many passes for coming up big moments.
That's true.
And you can't, we stand up here trying to tell a story about a player, right? And we trying to make a case for why this person's the best and why that person's the best. Some people just don't meet that criteria. And all our criteria is different when it comes to who we think is the best. Shout out to Taj Mason in the building, and I appreciate you for being in here. But anywho, another story that came out in the NBA is that we talked about Drew Holiday, Stephen Silas. So let's talk about Stephen Silas. So we all know this dude got hired by the Houston Rockets. He's the son of former NBA coach Paul Silas, and he is going to have a challenge, to say the least. Now, whether or not to blow the whole team up and start over, or to run with what you got and try to win the championship, then blow it up. I don't even think they got a new general manager yet.
No, not yet.
No, now they got a new general manager. So now you got that dynamic. So what moves are they going to make without them having a general manager right now, and shit, the Rockets they're going to be a mess. They're going to be a mess. So, Young, what you got? What you think about what the Houston Rockets are doing?
I feel like nothing. Cause it's still gonna be the same if you got these two guys, Harden and Westbrook. Because you got just one guy, who's crazy, who's dribbling, holds the ball too long. You got another guy that really can't shoot, but is very athletic, And for a coach like him, I think he needs to find, and Rockets need a big man. They need to find a good big man. You know, it's sad that Ken Capella had to traded Ken Capella, but they need to find a big man and get Westbrook off ball movement.
Okay, so the Rockets' new GM is Raphael Stone. I just found that out. But yeah, they're gonna need some people, and especially in the interior. We saw in the playoffs, the Rockets got destroyed by big men, right? And as good as a defender as PJ Tucker, where he rotates, the way he communicates, and all that stuff, right? But you can't have him. He's only like 6'6". You can't have him going up against guys that's 6'11", 7 foot. Guys that are athletic, guys that are bang him down there. I know he a bruiser, and I know how much heart he got, and I know he a bulldog. But he gonna get, man. Look, he'll get destroyed by Anthony Davis. If Anthony Davis go out there and not bail him out and whatever like that, he can easily get PJ Tucker in foul trouble. He'll destroy him. But nevertheless, so they switch this team. They blow his team up, right? We don't know where Russell Westbrook going to go. There's talk about him going to the Knicks. There's talk about James Harden possibly going to the 76ers or whatever like that. You know Houston don't even have a first round pick this year. That pick going to the Denver Nuggets. So what do Houston Rockets do? Lou, what do you think they do?
Wow, that's a good question, LB. Like, I don't even know what type of offense this guy is kid going to run as the head coach of the Houston Rockets. And you still got two MVPs on this team. I wonder if Westbrook and Harden going to respect this guy if they do keep the team together. And if they do add a big man, they need a big man who can actually hit that 15 to 18 foot jumper too. And somebody who's a great shot blocker. But I really do hope if he does end up being a great coach, they don't do him like they do all the other African American coaches, where they let him build the team up to a championship contender, then they fire him out of no reason, then hire a white guy to take over and take all the credit. I really do hope that don't happen.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I hope they don't do that neither, because that would be kind of foul. I still like to see some more black coaches.
That's been happening a lot, LB, man. Like over the years, I'm getting sick and tired of that bullshit.
Man, look, I'm right there with you on that, but at the same time, Doc Rivers, look, there was no defending that shit. There comes a point in time to cut bait. And yeah, I don't like seeing black coaches get fired, but that Doc Rivers pulled off was indefensible. You can't defend that. You can't pull 3-1 series lead and expect nobody to get no kind of smoke when that team that you had is supposed to be a championship contender. I mean, and then that's not time, he's blown 3-1 leads with that team. So, I mean, he got to go. Oh, well, you got to go. You got to go. Right? Speaking of which, I got to go. I got some business I got to take care of, man. But I appreciate everybody being on the panel. Everybody subscribing to the channel. This your boy. Scream at me. Hey!
Yes, sir.